Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Adamant Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. The only thing really new from Fascinations this week, or at least their website, which is where I usually start, is the Ford in color models now have the 360 views up. So I talked last week about the models had more pictures available. This week the 360 view is up. If you go on the Fascinations website to what's new, you can see they have some display boxes or display pieces that are on the coming soon page. So it's really looked like they're getting quite geared up to release these models any day now, I'm assuming. Beyond that, there isn't anything new, which kind of leaves me to wonder if all of these Ford models move over to the what's new page from the coming soon page. There's going to be nothing in coming soon, and that doesn't happen. Has that ever happened before? I don't think it has. There's got to be something new getting ready to post on coming soon, because I just can't see that being completely blank. But anyway, there are other things new from Fascinations, or at least things that are becoming available that have been talked about recently. One of which is the red Ford models, the 65 Mustang and the Model T. The red ones that were confirmed to be a Hobbytown exclusive, or announced to be a Hobbytown exclusive, have been confirmed to be in stores. Fortunately, I do not have a Hobbytown anywhere near me currently. There was one maybe an hour or so away, and I was going to swing by there recently, and they're no longer there. But CoWookie has gone to his local Hobbytown and has confirmed that they do have the red Mustang and red Model Ts in stock for you to purchase. And I'll put a link in the description down below. He's taking pictures of them on the shelf and fronts and backs of the models so that you can get them. Also, on top of that, while they are an in-store exclusive model for Hobbytown, that is in-store. So basically, finding them physically, the only place you're going to find them is Hobbytown, not Hobby Lobby, not AC Moore, not any other craft store. But there is apparently a store that is selling the same models online. So if you don't have a Hobbytown near you and you do want to complete your collection of all of the Metal Earth models, there is one Amazon store that is selling each one of those models. You can buy them independently of each other, or they have kind of a package deal listing where you get them both together. Again, there'll be links for that in the description down below so that you can see your options. You can either go to the store or order them off of Amazon. And around the same time that the announcement came out that these red Ford models were coming out, there was also an announcement of a Hogwarts Express in-store exclusive, or store exclusive, for Books A Million. Books A Million has got, we just recently got the Iconics Hogwarts Express, but apparently Books A Million is going to get a Hogwarts Express in color exclusive that also has some tracks. I'm very much looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, last night I pre-ordered my own version of that. Books A Million, while they haven't shown up in any of the stores as of yet, though it's been a couple of days since last I checked, their website has them on pre-order. So while the Burroughs is not showing up online at Books A Million, the Hogwarts Express exclusive is, and you can pre-order it. Supposedly you can pick it up in stores, but I wasn't able to pick it up in my local store. It's going to have to be shipped to me. It's about 30 bucks, just under 30 bucks. You might be able to get it shipped to your local store for free. If you're a member of whatever member club they have, you can get shipping for free. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a few dollars for shipping, or you can just wait for it to show up in stores. The fact that it's on pre-order means that it can't be too much longer before it comes. But again, links in the description to that particular listing down below. There is something else that I noticed that showed up on Metal Earth's website last night, and it isn't so much new as it is more sad news. I double-checked the retiring list just to see if anything else had been added, and sure enough, it looks like the Doctor Who models have been added to the retiring list. Very sad news. It's sad that the Doctor Who models didn't do better. I thought they would have, but interestingly enough, 4 of the 5 models are listed on the retiring list. The one that was not listed is the Silver Canine, and I may have missed this, but it's actually on the retired list, as in it's already been retired. They originally came out with a silver one as long as the other 4 models, but then later on they came out with a rusty colored version of K9. Maybe they retired the silver one shortly after that and I just didn't notice. But they're all on the retired list now. So they've added even more to it. Being a big Doctor Who fan, that's very sad. And something else that I found very interesting, when I first got into this hobby, one of the places that I would get some of my Metal Earth models from, at least online, was a place called At Play Toys. At Play Toys used to sell a lot of models. I remember when the C-3PO model first came out, the one by itself, I got it through At Play Toys, but not long after that, they quit carrying new Metal Earth models. It looks like they've decided to start carrying Metal Earth models again. I noticed on their Instagram page they posted that, backed by popular demand, they are now selling Metal Earth models. I put a link to that page in the description down below, and I've also noticed that they still have some of the older models for sale, including a few of the things that are on the retiring list, even on the retired list. They still have some Halo models, they still have some Mass Effect models if you're interested in those. Some of the models are even listed at a discount. So if you're wanting to complete your list and there's some models you don't have, definitely check them out and get them before they're gone. Again, link in the description down below. And that's about it this week for the news. Everything seems to be centered around Metal Earth and things that are either finally available or maybe coming soon. I don't really see anything else as far as any of the other manufacturers out there, Peace Cool or MU or anything else. I normally surf several of my favorite stores on Aliexpress to see if there's anything new. I'm not seeing anything. One thing that specifically I was looking for is the Peace Cool models that I talked about last week. There were 4 models released as a set that a couple of them kind of seem to mimic Transformers models, as well as the Terminator model. They were supposed to come out this month. It's the last day of this month. I've not seen them. Really honestly surprised nothing has shown up yet, but I don't see anything at Crazy Toys or AliExpress or any of the places I usually check. The one thing that I did see that I thought I would make everyone aware of, it looks like AliExpress is gearing up for an 11/11 sale. So November 11th, there's going to be a big discount sale. A couple of the stores, and my favorite stores, have a page set up where they're going to have certain models on sale on that day. I've put links in the description down below. It looks like Funny Model Store and Magical Model Store. Those are a couple of stores that I usually check for new models. They're participating in this 11/11 sale. So if there's some models that you're wanting to get through AliExpress that you haven't gotten yet, you might want to check out the links in the description below for those 2 stores to see if there's anything on that list that you might want to purchase on that day. There looks to be some pretty decent discounts. There also looks to be some ridiculous discounts. AliExpress, sometimes it's 30% off, sometimes it's 1% off. But whatever. I don't see anything from the Crazy Toys AliExpress site. I don't know if they're participating in the sale or not, but 2 of the stores are. If you have another store that you like to purchase from, check AliExpress out to see if they're participating in the sale and see if there's anything on the list that you want to make plans for to show up virtually on the 11th and purchase. And that brings us to the question of the week. And last week's question or topic, I should almost say that brings us to the topic of the week. Last week's topic was about the retiring models. That was kind of a big blow for me, possibly a few others out there, that so many things have hit the retired list. I would like to have them all. I really would. But as many models as there are out there, that's virtually, it's borderline impractical. And I commented about that and received a few comments back. I'm going to read through some of those now. For one, we have Drummer Matt UK, who commented on that video, "I'm definitely a completionist like yourself. I always try to pick up the exclusive / discontinued models first, and then the others, and when I can financially, I even pick up models I have no interest in, like My Little Pony, as they retired, just to aim to complete the set. I think you should pick up the models you want the most from your wish list and just keep picking up a couple more when you can. That way you won't need to make one big purchase." That is certainly one way of doing it, and probably what I will do. There's certainly the instinct to just jump out there, find everything, and grab it. There's something to be said for if you take your time. I really like finding things on sale and saving money. I really do. And if I keep my eye out and take my time, I might be able to find some of these discontinued models at a cheaper price, save myself a few bucks, and complete the list. The risk is, will they reach a point where they're no longer available? are people going to start snatching them up because they don't make them anymore? I think chances are mixed. The cat models were discontinued, and they were fairly popular, it seems, and they're getting hard to find and hard to pick up, especially the Dozer. I recently did a review for that. It's hard to find the Dozer. But then there are models like Halo and Mass Effects, which my local AC Moore still has Mass Effects models, and quite a few. And they've been on clearance, and they're just sitting there. So it really depends. Maybe these models will sit around for a long time, and I don't need to rush it, and maybe they won't. But I think what I'm going to do is sit around and try to keep an eye out for discounts and sales. I picked a few up from At Play Toys once I found out they were back in and realized they still had some. So I'm going to keep my eye out. Nick Zelenek, I apologize if I've said that incorrectly. Thank you, Brad, for all the time and effort you put into this hobby and spreading awareness in your community and around cyberspace. For me, I just recently delved into the Legends, and I will try and snag the Guardians, Lord of the Rings, and Transformers models. I say pick a few off the retiring list you really want and hold your breath on the others. Share the remainder with family and friends. You might get a few more. And that's certainly something I will do. I'll be honest, I don't tend to get a lot of Metal Earth models from friends and family because the way I'm doing this channel, and I snatch things up when there's a deal, and they can't keep track of what I have and what I don't have. This is a big list, and it's hard for me to even maintain a list of what I have and don't have, because if everything you see up here, I've got a drawer down here you don't see that even has more models that I just haven't gotten around to. So it's very difficult even for me to keep track, and my friends and family tend to not. Though, and I have put some of the things I wanted on wish lists on Amazon, and nothing came of it. My friends are also creative and try to get me unique things, so I'm not complaining. But that's something that I may try and do. It's not a bad idea. Shane Stribley, I just want the Arizona and the Mighty Mo battleships. So bad. Also, the Flintstone car is one I can't seem to find, but won't. Please, Metal Earth. An Aussie Metal Earthling is sad. Cheers from down under. Shane, if I could, I would grab up a lot of these models. I'd grab up all of the retiring models that I could find, and I'd grab up a bunch of the Flintstone models, and I would split them in half, and I'd put half of them in a big box sent to Australia for somebody to distribute. I really would if I could. I feel your pain. We're sad to see those go, and I don't know why it's so difficult to find the Flintstones car over there. How very odd. Walter J. Schuler, I somehow missed last week's video. I saw the announcement of the retiring model video, but not the other. Sorry about that, or I would have had another answer to your question. Anyway, I say go for it. The Legends models didn't sell well. That's probably why they are being retired. This is my thought. Halo models have been retired for a long time now, and they can be found almost anywhere. So I imagine these will be too. In fact, I won a contest for Metal Earth 2 months ago, and one of the models I received was a Halo rifle. So they still have stock at the warehouse. Having a wish list for you is a amazing idea. I've personally already sent you models, as well as others have too. I'm sure more people that watch your videos would love to tip you for such great content and buy you a model. Is there a link to the page I could see? I have a few doubles. I'd love to send you if you need them. I sent you a Hulkbuster a while ago, but I guess you never got it. Let me know so I can see what's going on. Great vid, Brad. Sorry about missing last week. Quite a long post, but it kind of makes a good segue into where I'm going next. You have a point, Walter, that the Legends models didn't do as well as they hoped, and it seems like a lot of the models, I'm guessing a lot of the models on this discontinued list are being retired because they're not selling. There's a lot of older models, there's models, some of the newer models, maybe they just weren't a big hit, and it kind of looks like they're cleaning house. So it makes me wonder, are they're cleaning house for the better? I really think that's what's going on. They're getting rid of these older models, they're not selling, and they're making room for what's new, which leads me to think there's something new, something big in the coming. I'm speculating here, but I'm also kind of thinking that, especially with all of the Legends models being dumped at once, except for the Flintstones, which are kind of sort of Legends, kind of sort of not, with all the Legends models just being dumped and retired all at once, I really wonder if Metal Earth kind of learned a lesson from that. They didn't sell as well as they had hoped. They were easier models, I'm assuming, to appeal to people getting into the hobby, and I certainly get that approach, but there are a lot of people, especially people that are already in the hobby, that just didn't want to bother. It took a little while for them to grow on me. Now I have a nice collection up here in the top corner. You can just barely see it. That I've even gone to the trouble of designing and 3D printing a riser so I can put all of them on one shelf and you still see them. And now I've got extra space and I need to fill it. So I'm not that surprised that they aren't moving forward with Legends models. The fact that they're dumping them kind of tells me that they've learned a lesson and they're maybe changing direction. And it makes me wonder where they're going to go next. And I say that, I also want to add to that the fact that with the models I've been building recently, and I got a little behind with the move, the models that I've been building recently, I've noticed that things are getting more detailed and more complicated. Especially with the recent Star Wars models that were released. The iconic Star Destroyer had lots of detail. From what I hear, the other two iconics, the R2-D2 and the X-Wing, didn't have as much detail crammed into them. But then we've got the Ywing, which I'm working on. It's in the works. I've gotten started on it. It has so much detail in it and so many little parts. Honestly, the little parts that are on there almost make me think of this as an Iconics model, because the Iconics models used to have the more detailed and smaller parts. Made it more complicated. So I'm seeing this shift that Metal Earth seems to be doing to where they're making more complex, more detailed, and more challenging models. And I've certainly seen the trend in, say, the Metal Earth subreddit, where people are asking for these more challenging models. There are definitely a group of people out there that want the bigger challenge, and they're turning to MU, and they're turning to Peace Cool, and they're turning to other manufacturers for that challenge. I really think with what I'm seeing with the new models coming out and how much more detailed and complicated there are, with the new colored models coming out, with that coming, and with things like the Legends and the older, simpler models being left behind, is this a big sign of the direction that Metal Earth is going. And overall, I think that's really great. I worry a little bit that the difficulty might get to the point where it will discourage some. I myself, with the Ywing, have been feeling a little, ooh, if this gets a little bit more complicated, I'm not so sure I can do it. But once you get it done, the joy of completing this highly detailed model is just, you forget how difficult it really was, and you enjoy it. Is that where they're going? There's evidence, I think, suggesting that's the case. And if we take a moment to look even deeper into it, and you look at what they're getting rid of versus what they're not touching. They've gotten rid of the Doctor Who models. That's sad. Apparently they weren't selling. They've gotten rid of all the Legends models. But they didn't get rid of the helmets from Star Wars. They didn't get rid of any of the Star Wars models. We know, I think we all know, the Star Wars models sell. While there's a lot of people that are tired of it, of the new Star Wars stuff, and not interested, we know that does sell. And we know that they do still occasionally come out with architectural models. It's been a while since they've come out with one. What's coming next? Are there more in the works? It's been a while since they've come out with anything as far as planes, but they're not really dumping that many planes. A couple here and there, simpler models. So it really makes me wonder, they have a huge list of aircraft. Are they getting ready to add more? They have a lot of Marvel models and Batman DC models. None of those have gone anywhere. They're still out there. It makes me wonder if, perchance, some of the models that are going to be coming soon might have to do with DC or Marvel. They seem to be, they haven't let any of those go. They haven't discontinued any. Maybe there's something new to come. Honestly, haven't kept up with the DC universe, but I do keep up with the Marvel universe a little bit. This past weekend I took some time to catch up with the Avengers movie. We've got Thor's hammer. It'd be great to have Stormbringer. Is that what it's called? The new axe. It'd be great to have some more Marvel models. They really are putting a lot of effort into the Star Wars stuff, and they've pushed out a lot of Star Wars here recently. Is there a chance, and they never did put out any Legends Star Wars models, is there a chance we may get something better? We've got helmets. maybe they'll take it a step further. They've put out large figures for Marvel. We've got Black Panther. We've got Iron Man and War Machine. Could we possibly get something like that for Star Wars? Who's to say? It's a lot of speculation on my part, but I really think there's bigger things on the horizon. There's more complicated, more detailed models on the horizon, because it really, if you take a moment to look at it, that seems to be the way Metal Earth is going. And that's something that's been on the back of my mind here a lot lately, as far as they're trending towards these more complicated and detailed and intricate models. And with this very recent drop of all of these older Legends models and older Metal Earth models on the retired list, and the fact that the Coming Soon page is about to be empty once these Ford models move over, it's got me thinking, what's coming next? Definitely what's coming next. And I also want to point out the fact that Peace Cool recently released or at least announced, a Terminator model. Sometimes things from Peace Cool make their way to Metal Earth. A lot of the cultural stuff, not so much. But something like Terminator, how long before we get our own Terminator with Metal Earth? I think the big question is not if we will get one, but how long will it be, and will they modify it or keep it the same? For instance, the dragons. The dragons came to Metal Earth. They changed the face a little bit, the head of the dragon, but we still got a silver dragon. There's a lot of other dragons that have come since then, but I don't know. I'm just speculating here, thinking about the future, what's coming next. I feel like there's a lot on the horizon, but of course, when it comes to when it's announced, it'll be here in the Friday video. So I guess this week's topic boils down to, what do you think's coming? I feel like there's a big void there on that Coming Soon page. I feel like all of these Ford models are getting ready to move right over. It's going to leave a void. What do you think's coming next? What do you hope's coming next? Leave your comments down below. Let's start a discussion. And that's it for the 3D metal model news this week. I'm going to leave it at that. I think I said earlier that this was the last day of the month for the Peace Cool models. Actually, today is the 1st of November. I forgot about that. Yesterday was the last day of the month. So hopefully those Peace Cool models will show up really soon somewhere for sale. But being the 1st of the month, I do want to take a moment to thank November's Patreon supporters for supporting this channel. I want to thank Andrew S., Chris Paskowicz, Giovanni Filardo, Hugh Morrison, Kaj Nielsen, Kamal McCune, Ken Crowan, Kendall Fargo, and Man Hoang. Apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. Thank you very much for being Patreon supporters for another month, continuing to support this channel so that I can continue to make these videos, build videos, review videos, so on and so forth. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, those of you who interact. I really appreciate it. And as always, keep on keeping on.